Hey, it's Pavel again with a Java exercise. This time we'll be using some framework and library. Sorry. And what we are supposed to do is to write an app that displays a frame containing two panels. And each panel should contain two images. We should use four unique images of whatever images you find. We'll fix the size of the first panel so that both of its images remain side by side, but allow the other panel to change size as needed. So this is not this is basically the GUI exercise of Java Swing. Now I created our object right here, not object, our project with our main method right here. But I already made a folder called images with a bunch of images in it. I copied the images in the folder called images. I named them image 1, 2, image 3, and so forth. Okay, so let's get started. First thing first, we are working with Java, so we need a Java Swing. So import java.awt and swing. Oops, this is not a comma, it's supposed to be a period. And import java dot we are supposed to do the in this case we are using the swing. All right, so java x, not java but java x dot swing. Okay, so we have the libraries. Now what do we do? Well, we need a frame. So our jframe frame equals new jframe, and the title on the frame could be, I don't know, two panels and images. All right, so now let's do the set default close operation for our X button on the frame. So jframe dot exit on close. All right, so that's our frame. Now I'm going to do image paths. Image paths. So we have four images now. So image icon, icon 1. I'll just call it icon 1. And that's gonna be a new object of image icon. And my path, again, if you remember, I have a folder called images. So the correct path is images dot image 1 dot jpeg. The reason I'm doing it this way, I don't have to, remember the path. I've simply assigned it to the icon of image icon object. All right, so do the same for the other three images. So it's icon 2. Should be images. It's image icon, whatever. It's kind of like an icon, so doesn't matter what you name it. New image icon, and the path for this one is images dot image 2 dot jpeg, and I will simply copy these two lines for the last two images. So it's gonna be icon 3 and icon 4, and over here it's gonna be image 3 and image 4. All right, so we have our image path. Now let's do the labels. So labels will be here. So JLabel object, and we will have four labels for each image. So label 1, label 2, label 3, and label 4. This is where the images will be displayed. Right, so our label 1 will be the first image. This is new J label, and we will do the first need allows. If you remember, the assignment says that I'll read it. Allow the fixed size of the first panel so that both of its images remain side by side. So one will be left and one will be right. So this one I will simply do left. This is just so I know which one's which. And it's going to be icon 1. All right, and swing constants, and I will center it. Oof, this is this is something, right? I'm not sure if I fully comprehend the swing library, but all right, we got the label. The label will have a text left, and it will center. It will be image in it, the first image. Now label 2. This will be in the first frame as well. So label 2 will be to the right of the first one. So J label, because they have to be side by side. So text right, and icon 2, and swing constant center. Okay, so these two will be together in the left frame, and they will remain next to each other. Now the other two, they won't have to be. They will be resized as needed. The panel 2 will be resized as needed. I'm talking about frames, but I mean panels. All right, so but it still will be the same principle like the first two. This one will be I'll do this one text label. So we have left image, right image, and this one can be how about above? So text center above, and icon 3, and again swing constants, and I will center it. Center, and I'm getting probably some text error. Swing constants. That's pretty right. You know what? Here, take this. Ah, jeez. There. Okay, so that's and third one. Now a fourth one. New J label, and this one will be text center down. Text center down. Icon 4, and swing constants center. Okay, so we have 4 labels with the images and as text label. Okay, now we need to place these in the panels. So let's do the first panel first. First panel, J panel. Let's say panel 1 equals new J panel, and panel 1. Let's do these dimensions. Set preferred. It's gonna be new dimension. I always do 800 by 600. It could be some other size, whatever you want, depending on the size of your images, of course. Panel 1 dot set as ground. All right, background, and we set it to color, and I'll do red, just something bright, so I can clearly distinguish those two panels. Now let's add the labels to it. Label that set horizontal position, horizontal text position, and swing constant dot left. Ooh, this is something I tell you. And label 2 dot set horizontal text position, and it's going to be swing constant dot right. All right, so that's our first panel with our first with the two labels. Now we can do the second panel, and we got the JPanel object again. Panel 2 equals new JPanel, and we have the let's just do the size again and all that good stuff set. So it's panel 2 dot set preferred size, which is the new dimension 800, and I make 800 and 800. All right, and panel 2, just so that different from the first panel. Panel 2 dot set background, again just so we're clearly visible, clearly distinguished from each other. This one will be green. All right, and let's put those labels in there. Label 3 dot set vertical text position. The yeah, no, let's do the sorry. Label 3 dot set horizontal text position, and it's gonna be again swing constant dot center, and we will also do the vertical position because this is above, so this one will be north. Remember, one is left, one is right, one is, in other words, one is north, east, south, and west. So this one will be north. So set vertical text position of the swing constants dot north. Okay, and now the last label that will hold the fourth image. So label 4 dot set horizontal text position. This one will go to the bottom. Swing. Well, the horizontal will be still centered. Swing constants dot center, but it will be on the bottom vertically, of course. Label 4 dot set vertical text position. Swing constants dot, and that's going to be I want to say south, but it's of course bottom. Which I wish it was south. I mean, it would make sense considering this is north. Constants. What did I misspelled it again? Okay. All right. So first panel, two labels. One is to the left, one is to the right. They're only horizontally aligned. All right. Now the second panel has them aligned vertically. One to the top, to the north, one to the bottom. But the text itself will be horizontally still aligned to the center. They're all centered within their perspective, within their respective labels. Oof. All right, so let's do the main container, and that's going to be the panel, panel primary. So this will hold the other two panels. Equals new panel, and primary dot set background, and let's make this one, I don't know, color, just blue. like blue, primary dot add the panels 1 and 2, add panel 1. Remember, panel 1 has those first two labels, and now panel 2 has the other two labels already attached to those panels. So panel 2, and now let's just put it all together. Oof. Frame dot get content pane, and we will add the primary panel. Okay, so that's that. Frame dot back, and finally let's make everything visible. Frame set visible to true. Now let's see what it is that we've got. Oh, this is color like that. There's a little misspelling. So all right, let's see what we get. I'll run it. Okay, we have two panels here, as you can see. Let me make this smaller. They kind of get stuck together. One is obviously to the north, one is to the bottom. Red and green. So what did we get? Red and green. So green is the second panel, of course. First is the first panel. Okay, so we have that working. I don't see any images. So let's look into that. I'm wondering what it is. Let me run it again. So I get the two panels. I get the labels, the images. I get the labels. I have the label declared. The path seems to be correct. Okay, over here we made the first panel. We created our labels. We set them up, but we never added them to the panel. So panel 1 dot add label 1, and panel 2 1 dot add the label 2. And over here the same thing. We set up everything, but we never added them to the second panel. So panel 2 add label 3, and finally panel 2 dot add label 4. Now let's try it again. Oh, there you have it, my beautiful images. Now see, the images are together on this one. Because today is Halloween, so I got a lot of candies here too, and some kinds of. You get the text left next to the image. Remember, text right to the image, and this is kind of too big, so we got text centered, but I don't see anything on the bottom because I think the form is just way too huge. So let's make it smaller. How about we make it like 300 pixels and another 300 pixels over there. And that's too small. Alright, so let's make this one actually 600, but this one 300. No, that's not what I meant. And this one 300 and this one 600. And yes, you get text center down. So we set it up horizontally. It's still centered to the image. See, each of them is centered to the image. But these ones are centered only horizontally. We put them next to the images, one to the left, one to the right. With the second panel, we centered it to the image, but we centered it vertically because we put it above and to the bottom of the image. Okay, so again, what do we got? We created a frame. Make sure that we can close it by clicking the X. We store the path to our images in our image icon object. We created four labels, assign text to them, text left, text right, center about, and center down. Assign the path to the image, because that's where the images are displayed in the labels, and we centered everything. Now we created the first panel with the set up the dimensions and color and background and stuff. We set up the horizontal positions for our labels, and then add those labels to the first panel. And we did the same with the second panel, except this time we also added the vertical text positions for our labels, one to the top, in other words, the text displays to the top of the image, and to the bottom, where the text displays to the bottom of the image, and they are still all centered to the image. We added the labels to the panel 2. Then we created one primary panel that holds the panel 1 and panel 2 in it. And then finally, we get the content pane, added the primary label that already had everything in it, set it to visible, and we got our form, our frame that says two panels and images. Okay, now, like I said, this is a little confusing. You really have to just practice and practice, and kind of experiment with the positioning and all that stuff. But I hope it helped you. And if you want to know more Java homeworks, check out my other videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you didn't yet. And I'll see you next time. Take care.